afternoon and welcome to the 4th Annual Columbia University 3-Minute Thesis Competition. My name is Shiva Arjuna. I'm a 5th-year PhD candidate in electrical engineering and the former president of Columbia's Engineering Graduate Student Council.
And I am Ruo Yugu, 5th-year PhD candidate in the Biological Sciences program, and I'm the president of Columbia's Arts and Science Graduate Council, and we are your MCs for today's event. Our program will begin this afternoon with opening remarks before we proceed to the 3MT competition with presentations from our doctoral student finalists. After the student presentations, we invite you to join us for food and drink and make sure to stay for the award ceremony, which will take place at approximately 4:30 p.m.
Without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce Dean Carlos J. Alonso Morris and Alma Shapiro Professor of Humanities, Dean of the Graduate School of Arts and Sciences and Vice President for Graduate Education, who will offer opening remarks. Dean Alonso will be followed by Dr. Garuda Iyengar, Tang Family Professor of Industrial Engineering and Operations Research and Senior Vice Dean of Research and Academic Programs in the Food Foundation School of Engineering and Applied Science.
Good afternoon to all of you, and thank you for coming to this 4th iteration of the 3MT competition among doctoral students at Columbia. I was thinking, when I was preparing my remarks for this event, of an anecdote that is associated with Mark Twain. Apparently, at the end of a very long letter to a friend, he said, "I'm sorry to have written this long letter. If I'd had more time, I would have written you a shorter letter." Which, of course, if you know anything about Mark Twain, looks like a boutade or something that doesn't make sense, or that is a funny remark, but it is, as it happens to be, a very profound remark, and one that is particularly opposite to this competition, because what it means is that economy and succinctness of expression and shortness of expression takes an enormous amount of time to achieve. And that the funny thing is that when you look at a shorter outcome, you assume that it took a lot less time to achieve, when the fact is that that kind of economy is itself the result of an enormous amount of work, as we will see from these presentations. But of course, the point is not just to make it short, but to communicate it effectively. And in this particular case, 3 minutes, and using only one slide. The participants are challenged to distill their dissertations, projects that took at times years, and traveling and research in archives and so on, and to reduce it to a 3-minute presentation with the aid of a slide. What's even perhaps more of an achievement is that that brief presentation has to be translated into terms that will be understandable to people outside the field. And you as graduate students know that one of the things that we're trying to inculcate in you is the absolute opposite, which is how to master the specific vocabulary of your field. So today we're going to hear from 13 of your colleagues who have gone through this process of distillment and reduction without losing the complexity of their work and without losing the importance of their work. I would like to, first of all, extend my gratitude to our panel of judges who are either faculty or members of the GSAS alumni community for their willingness to participate in the event. And I frankly do not envy you the job that you're going to have to engage in. To you, the finalists, you exemplify the range and complexity of doctoral student research at Columbia, but we're also acknowledging from the get-go the fact that you had to not just produce amazing work, but find a way to turn it into the kind of object that will be part of this presentation and this event. So congratulations to all of you.
Thank you, Carlos. I want to echo Dean Alonso's welcome and add my own congratulations to the finalists. In the spirit of this competition, I will try to keep my remarks sub 3 minutes, maybe 1.5, just to outshine all of you. No, just kidding. The goal here is to inculcate research communication skills, a skill that we all need, whether we end up being faculty members, public intellectuals, thought leaders, whoever. Being able to communicate in an effective manner is very important. The ability to effectively explain your highly specialized research, something to which you have devoted years of your life, in 3 minutes is an interesting challenge. Clearly, the ability to do so for a general audience takes practice and skill. But again, it is a skill that I believe serves us all very well. Imagine the hypothetical situation where you have to explain the nuances of your dissertation in history to a provost who comes from engineering. That could happen in the next university you go for a job. It happens at Columbia too. I'm really thrilled that we are able to provide this opportunity to students to come together with your research as the main focus or the main event of the day. So this is one of the very few events where research is up for display and from many different areas of the university. Last year, we were able to host this event in person, but only the finalists were here, and Dean Alonso and myself, we were here. So it's so wonderful to see all of you being able to participate in this event. My sincere thanks to the illustrious judging panel. Your presence today demonstrates the importance that you put on education, both within and beyond the classroom. We really, truly appreciate your commitment to our students. To the students in this room, especially those of you who are not yet doctoral students, this is an opportunity to learn about what is on the cutting edge of various disciplines, but I also want you to pay particular attention to how that research is being presented. And to the finalists today, try to enjoy it. This is supposed to be fun. We are here to have fun together. Welcome, everyone.
Alonso and Dean Iyengar. Before we start with our first finalist, it is my pleasure to introduce our panel of faculty and alumni judges. Wes Alsenut, Assistant Professor of History with faculty affiliations in African and African American Studies, Urban Studies, and American Studies at Fordham University, who holds a PhD in history from Columbia and is joining us on Zoom. Shiho Kawashima, Associate Professor of Civil Engineering in the Fu Foundation School of Engineering and Applied Science at Columbia. Frances Negron Montaner, Julian Clarence Levi Professor in the Humanities in the Department of English and Comparative Literature at Columbia. Dr. Imran Shah, Global Leader for Communications, Media, and High Tech at Accenture, who holds a PhD in Electrical Engineering from Columbia. Carol Troy, Professor of Pathology and Cell Biology and Neurology at the Columbia University Irving Medical Center. Judges, thank you so much for being with us today.
With presentations from the 13 finalists. But before we do that, we kindly ask you to please silence your phone so that the finalists can present their work without disruption. Each finalist will present for 3 minutes using only one slide and no notes, and will be evaluated on both the content of their presentation and their delivery. You may applaud after each presentation, but we ask you to please keep your applause brief so that the next presenter can be introduced. The top 2 presenters, according to our judges, will be awarded prizes of $1,000 and $500 accordingly. Audience members, your vote counts as well. Following the presentations, we will provide instructions to cast your vote. The Audience Choice Award will be awarded $250. Make sure to cast your vote for only one finalist.